إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم عما بعد. Then we are inshallah ta'ala in our final reading of the book Kitab al-Siyam min Kitab al-Fiqh al-Muyassar fi Daw' al-Kitabi wa Sunnah. We are in our final reading of the book of fasting from the book al-Fiqh al-Muyassar, easy fiqh, fiqh made easy, simple fiqh, something like that, in light of the book and the Sunnah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we are on the 5th chapter, al-Bab al-Khamis, and we have two more mas'alatan. المسألة الثالثة زمان الاعتكاف ومستحباته. The time of itikaf, zaman, which is the time, zaman al-itikaf ومستحباته, and its recommendations, وما يباح للمعتكف, and what is permissible, what are the recommended acts, and what is permissible. And inshallah ta'ala, in the fourth part, we will have the mubtilat al-ittikaf, those things which nullify the ittikaf. طيب. Al-awwal, the first thing under this chapter here regarding the time, zaman al-ittikaf, ومستحباته, and its recommended acts, وما يباح للمعتكف, and what is permissible for the person making ittikaf. أولا زمن الاعتكاف ووقته. زمن الاعتكاف ووقته. What is the time? Zaman here, Allahu Alam, could be the timings, plural, and zaman here being the singular. Let's make sure that's the case. Inshallah, give me 1 second. That could be the opposite. Zaman and zaman basically have the same meaning. I don't think they have to do with plural or anything. The duration. Zaman is the duration, right? And zaman is the time period or duration. Same thing. Basically same meaning, just different usage of the word. We have with us Abu Muhammad. We'll bring him in a second, inshallah, just so I can focus here, right? Zaman al-itikaf wa waqtuhu, the timing of or the duration of itikaf and its time. Al-mukthu fil masjidi miqdaran min al-zaman huwa ruknun, or huwa ruknul, not ruknun, but ruknu al-i'tikaf. So remaining in the masjid for an amount of time, miqdaran min az-zaman, for a time period, right? For some portion of time. For some portion of time is a rukn a pillar of itikaf. فَلَوْ لَمْ يَقَعْ الْمُكْثُ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ, if it does not take place in the masjid, لَمْ يَقَعْ الْمُكْثُ. So if it does not take place in the masjid, لَمْ يَنْعَقِدْ al-i'tikaf. Then itikaf is not something that has started, has taken place, has happened. So it must be in the masjid, right? It must be in the masjid a period of time. وَفِي أَقَلِّ مُدَّةِ al-i'tikafi. And regarding, this fee here means regarding, and regarding the smallest, aqal, the smallest, the littlest amount of itikaf, the smallest time for making itikaf, khilafun bayna ahli ilm, between the people of knowledge. There is a difference of opinion between the people of knowledge on what is the shortest amount of time a person can be in itikaf. What's sahihu, and what is correct, insha'Allah, right? Insha'Allah, anna waqta al-i'tikafi laysa li aqallihi haddun. That the time and the waqt al-i'tikaf, that the time of i'tikaf, laysa li aqallihi hadd, there is no smallest or smallest or shortest period to it. Had, meaning there, had here means like boundaries or borders. So there is no smallest amount to it, right? There is no smallest amount or smallest portion to it. فَيَصِحُّ, and we talked about this yesterday, فَيَصِحُّ كَافْ مِقْدَارًا مِنَ الزَّمَنِ. So itikaf is correct if it is a portion of time. وَإِن قَلْ, even if it is very little. إِلَّا, except أَنَ الْأَفْضَلَ أَلَا يَقِلُّ al-i'tikafu an yawmin aw laylatin, except that it is better, al-afdal, it is better that the i'tikaf does not become less than a day or a night, meaning the daytime or the nighttime. You should stay there the whole part of the daytime or the whole part of the nighttime. That's what's best. But as we said, some of the ulama tell us when you go sit in a dars that's taking place, have the idea of itikaf. If you're going to a conference and the conference is all day or part of the day, have the intention of itikaf. But here they're saying that illa anna al-afdala, except that it is better, ألا يقل الوقت ألا يقل, it should be a fatah here because an is hidden inside of this ألا يقل الاتكاف عن يوم أو ليلة, that the itikaf is not less than a daytime or a nighttime. لأنه, because it was not ينقل, was not narrated عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, it was not narrated from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, ولا عن أحد من ashabihi, nor from anyone from his companions, al-i'tikafu fima duna dharik. No one has ever narrated that the Prophet ﷺ or or his companions made i'tikaf for less than a day or a night. That doesn't mean you can't do it. Just means they didn't go in there like that, right? We'll bring in Abu Muhammad now, inshallah ta'ala, for afdal awqat al-i'tikaf, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
نعم.
طيب مش كده. Second.
You with us, Abu Muhammad?
Yeah.
You need me to read, or you busy?
Abdullah, yeah. Can you read this part and then I'll join the next part?
Okay.
Just getting ready.
Okay.
Inshallah.
وأفضل أوقات الاعتكاف. أفضل أوقات الاعتكاف. The best times of making i'tikaf, al-ashr al-awakhir, the last 10 min Ramadan, the last 10 from Ramadan, li hadithi Aishata radiyallahu anha, asif, as-sabiqa, or as-sabiqi, because it is an adjective of hadith, but this is mu'arraf because of the idafa here. Li hadith as-sabiq, basically, right? Lil hadith as-sabiq, due to the previous hadith. And in Nabiya sallallahu alayhi wasallam, kana ya'taqifu al-ashra al-awakhira min Ramadana hatta tawaffahu Allahu. That the Prophet ﷺ used to make i'tikaf in the last 10 from Ramadan until Allah caused him to pass. فَإِنْ اعتكف get rid of this one there. فَإِنْ اعتكف في غير هذا الوقت, but if someone made i'tikaf in other than this time, جاز ذلك, that is permissible. لكنه, but it is خلاف الأولى. It is in opposition to what is better. والأفضل. And what is al-awla, more deserving, al-awla and afdal. Al-awla is more deserving and afdal, what is better. So what's the best time? So if a person does not make i'tikaf in Ramadan, but they make it outside of Ramadan, this is khilaf al-awla. This is khilaf al-awla. It's in opposition to what's better. But if a person makes i'tikaf in the last 10, and then he makes it at other times as well, no problem. وَمَن نَوَى, and whoever intended i'tikaf al-ashr al-awakhir min Ramadan, and whoever intended i'tikaf for the last 10 of Ramadan, Salla al-Fajr, he prays Fajr, min sabihati al-yawmi الحادي والعشرين. Then he prays Fajr in the morning of the 21st fil masjid, in the masjid. الذي ينوي الاعتكاف فيه, in the masjid that he is intending to do i'tikaf in it. So whoever wants to do i'tikaf of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, Salah al-Fajr, he prays Fajr, min sabihati yawm al-hadi wal-ishrin. This is important. From the morning of the 21st, fil masjidi alladhi yanwi i'tikafa fihi, from the masjid that he intends to do i'tikaf in it. ثم يدخل في اعتكافه, and then he enters into his i'tikaf. Right? So when is the beginning of i'tikaf? When does a person who wants to go, how does he enter into i'tikaf for the last 10 nights? He enters into it by praying Fajr in the masjid that he intends to make i'tikaf in. He prays Fajr on that morning, and then he stays in the masjid from there on out. From there on out. He doesn't say, well, what if the month is only 29 days and my i'tikaf is only 9, so I need to start on the 20th. No, you don't. You start on the 21st. Right? You start on the 21st. وَيَنْتَهِي, and he ends بِغُرُوبِ الشَّمْسِ آخِرَ يَوْمٍ مِنْ Ramadan. And he ends his i'tikaf basically with the setting of the sun, بِغُرُوبِ الشَّمْسِ, with the setting of the sun, آخِرَ يَوْمٍ مِنْ Ramadan, on the last day of Ramadan. So whenever the moon is sighted, or whenever you completed 30 days at Maghrib time, your i'tikaf is over. You go home, take a shower, get ready to go to Eid the next day. I believe Abu Muhammad might be with us now, so I'll scroll up. If there's any questions on this, then let me know. Someone says, I'm leaving before class is finished. Would you do any more readings? Yes, we'll have a test on Saturday, and then we'll continue with our normal readings until Ramadan. طيب دقيقة واحدة. Assalamu alaikum, Abu Muhammad.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You got yourself together now?
Yeah. Mustahabbatuhu, the ones that the preferential, or would you say preferred, or desired?
Preferred actions, recommended actions. Mustahab.
Mustahab, recommended. والإعتكاف إبادة يخلو فيها العبد بخالقه. So al-i'tikaf is a worship where he basically he's by himself with his Lord.
Yes, he frees himself basically, right? And he goes yakhlu khulwa, meaning to be by him. To be khulwa is like a khulwa, if we might know that word. It's like a private meeting or something, a private khulwa is like a private meeting or something that a person has, right? So yakhlu fiha al-abdu bi khaliqi, so he becomes free and private for his Lord, right? So something being khali also means to be empty, right? So to be free and empty, so to be only and free only for his Lord. That's what he's doing. He's unoccupied and solely dealing with his Lord.
ويقطع ألائق أما سواه. So he cuts off any connections or relations except with him. ف...
No.
ف... فيستحب للمعتكف أن يتفرغ للعبادة. So it is recommended for the one making itikaf that is is free or makes up he's free for worship or dedicated to worship alone. تفرغ.
Yeah.
Yeah. فيكثر من الصلاة والذكر والدعاء وقراءة القرآن والتوبة والاستغفار ونحو ذلك من الطاعات التي تقربه إلى الله تعالى. So he increases in his prayer, his remembrance of Allah and his supplications and his reading the Quran and his repentance and seeking forgiveness from Allah and the likes of that from the acts of obedience that get a person closer to Allah the Most High.
Now, yakhlu, looking it up just now for synonyms, a good word would be to seclude yourself, right? To seclude yourself or to isolate oneself. So, al-i'tikaf ibadatun yakhlu fihi al-abdu bi khaliqihi. I'tikaf is an act of worship which a person isolates or secludes himself with his creator. That's a good way. Isolates or secludes. Right? Oh yeah. طيب. I'll read the next one and then you read the next page, inshallah.
Inshallah.
دقيقة. ما يباح للمعتكف. What is permissible for the person in itikaf? ويباح للمعتكف الخروج من المسجد لما for what لا بد منه. It is permissible for the person in itikaf to leave out of the masjid for what there is no doubt for it or from it, meaning there's no way other than it. And he's going to explain. There's something that there's no doubt it must be done. كالخروج للأكل والشرب, such as going out to eat and drink. إذا لم يكن له, if there is not anyone for him, من يحضرها or من يحضرهما, anyone who can bring them to him, bring them two things to him, food and drink. إذا لم يكن له من يحضرهما, if he doesn't have anyone to bring them to him, then he has to go out and eat. He has to go out and eat. He has to go out and get food and come back. Right? If he has to go home. Maybe he has a wife or children or parents, but maybe they're handicapped, or maybe they have, an extremely tight schedule. Maybe they're, he doesn't want them coming out at certain times. He lives in a bad area. So he goes and he gets the food and he comes back. Right? Wal khuruju or wal khuruji, because we go back to this kaf. Wal khuruji li qada'i al haja, and going out for relieving oneself. Al haja, taking care of a need. Right? This is the etiquettes of Islam. We don't say I gotta go pee, I gotta go poop, I gotta go take a dump. We don't talk like this. Astaghfirullah. Right? We say I gotta go take care of a need. I got something I need to take care of. I'll be right back. Like you might have seen in TV or movies before, when women say I gotta go powder my nose. This is a polite way of getting up. Right? It's a polite way of going and getting up. And instead of talking about things which are, we talk about them in aspects of fiqh with no shyness. But in general, we don't talk about these types of things. We say, I gotta take care of something. I'll be right back. Go use the bathroom. لقضاء الحاجة والوضوء من الحدث, and making wudu from al-hadath, breaking wind or whatever the case you might have done. You need to go make wudu so you can continue to pray and read Quran and such. Then you do so. And this wudu'i is wudu'i with a kasr because we're going back to kal wudu'i min al-hadathi wal ightisali min al-janaba, and taking a shower from sexual defilement, such as if he had a wet dream. Right? وَيُبَاحُ لَهُ التَّحَدُّثُ. تَحَدُّثُ. It's permissible for him to talk, إِلَى النَّاسِ, to speak and talk with the people, فِيمَا, in what is beneficial, and what has some benefit in it. Not talking about sports games and scores and stupid stuff, but what is beneficial. It's permissible to talk to people for what is beneficial. Wasuali, or wasualu, because now we're talking about yubah. Wasualu an ahwalihim, and asking about their conditions. So you might say, how is so and so? How is your parents? How's this? How are you? Are you okay? Are you fine? These are things that are all permissible. Amma tahadduthu fima la yufidu, as for speaking about things which have no benefit, wa fima la darura tun fihi, and in those matters which there is no necessity for them, fa innahu, then it yunafi maqsood al-i'tikafi, then this negates the goal or the intention of i'tikaf. Wa ma shuri'a min ajlihi, and what was legislated for it. Wa yubahu, and it is permissible, lahu, for him, an yazuruhu, for someone to visit him, ba'du ahlihi wa aqaribihi, some of his family and relatives. It's permissible for them to visit him. Wa yubahu lahu, and it's permissible for him, an yazuruhu ba'du ahlihi wa aqaribihi, permissible for some of his family and close relatives to visit him. Wa an yatahaddath,
How will it be أن يزوره?
Naam, it is, yes, jazakallahu khairan. Wa an yazurahu, because of the an, jazakallahu khairan. Wa an yazurahu ba'du ahlihi wa aqaribihi, wa an yatahaddatha, and he can talk to ilayhi sa'atan min zamanin, and they can talk to him an hour, meaning, but here sa' doesn't mean an hour, 60 minutes, it means a period of time. Sa'atan min zaman, they can sit and talk for a while. It's not something that just has to be a short time, it could be a while. Sa'atan here used as an hour, meaning to show some length of time. It doesn't have to be just a few minutes. Oh, we're all okay, nothing's wrong, we're going home. No, they could sit for a minute and talk to him. Wal khuruju min mu'takafihi, leaving from his place of i'tikaf, li tuwaddi'ahum, from tuwaddi'ahum, in order to bid them farewell or to walk them back, right? Tuwaddi'ahum meaning hajjatul wada', like the farewell pilgrimage. Li tuwaddi'ahum meaning to bid them farewell, and while doing so, you walk them home. This is from etiquette. Someone visits you to your house, you don't necessarily just leave them. You walk them to the door, right? You don't say, okay, go ahead, and you stay on your couch. No, get up, walk them to the door. And if there's no other guests, maybe even walk them to their car. No problem. This is etiquette. So when his family comes to visit him, he can leave and walk them home. Li hadithi Safiyata. Due to the hadith of Safiya, radiallahu anha, mother of the believers. Qalat, she said, Kana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam mu'taqifan. He was in itikaf. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was in itikaf. Fa'ataytu laylan. So I came one night. Fahadathtuhu. And I spoke with him. Thumma kumtu. Then I stood up. Right? Meaning to leave. Fa'anqalabtu. And I turned away. Meaning to leave. Faqama ma'i. So he stood up with me. Li yaqlibani. Liyaqlibani. What does liyaqlibani mean? He explains it here. Al-hadithu. This is meaning just the rest of the hadith. Wa ma'na liyaqlibani. Liyaqlibani. But you can see it over there already. Liyaqlibani means ma'na liyaqlibani. Yarudduni ila bayti. Meaning to walk me back or to return me to my home. Right? That's why he stood up to return me to my home. Tayyib. Walil mu'takifi, and it is permissible for the mu'takif, and it is for this lil, it is for the mu'takif, it is permissible for the mu'takif, and ya'kula wa yashruba, to eat and to drink, وَيَنَامُ فِي الْمَسْجِدِ, to eat and drink and to sleep in the masjid. مَعَ الْمُحَافَظَةِ, along with preserving and guarding عَلَى نَظَافَةِ الْمَسْجِد, while preserving, guarding the cleanliness of the masjid, وَصِيَانَتِهِ, and its maintenance, meaning he should clean it up and take care of it. Right? He should clean up the masjid and take care of it. He shouldn't say, well, they got cleaners. No, you clean up. You left the mess, you clean it up. And if we read about the Salaf, before I turn this page real quick, if we read about the Salaf, then wallahi, they used to not even like a hair from their beard. One person had lice during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and he picked them out and just flicked them on the ground. The Prophet ﷺ told him, pick them up and get them out of here. The message is not for this. Lice, we know they're so small. Sometimes you need a magnifying glass to see them. Imam Bukhari saw a hair in the masjid. He folded it up in his sleeve, and when he went outside the masjid, then he dumped it. A lot of times we see lint on our clothing and we just pick it off and let it drop on the ground in the masjid. If you don't want it on, does the masjid want it on its carpet? Because you might find someone using their miswak, and then they go to get the little strings or hairs of the miswak, the fibers of the miswak out of their mouth, spitting it on the ground. You don't want it in your mouth. What makes you think the masjid wants it on their carpet? Someone has to walk there. Someone has to sit there. Someone has to maybe prostrate there where that thing you spit on, the thing you picked off your clothing, your hair. You should be conscious of the masjid and taking care of it, whether in itikaf or outside of itikaf. And even more so in itikaf, because that's a time for you to become a little bit lazy because you're there all day. You got this little area you think kind of like to yourself, and you're going to well, I'll take care of it. No, take care of it as you go. It's still the masjid. Any questions on this section? Let's see, what is this? No, give me 1 second here. Everybody, I got to answer this question. طيب. Okay, any questions? No questions? Abu Muhammad, you with us?
نعم نعم إن شاء الله. طيب. المسألة الرابعة مبطلات الاعتكاف. So the fourth affair is the nullifiers of the itikaf.
Yes. Those things which nullify, violate, break, right? Whatever.
Yeah. يبطل الاعتكاف بما يلي. So these are the ones that nullify or violate the following, violate or nullify the itikaf. Number one,
render null and void from the word batil, right?
Yeah.
To render null and void, whichever.
الأول الخروج من المسجد لغير حاجة عمدا. So to leave the masjid intentionally without a need. وإن قل وقت الخروج and وإن قل وقت الخروج.
No, you're right. Waqta, Asif, you're right.
Okay. Yeah. وإن قل وقت الخروج, and even if the time of leaving is even short, لحديث عائشة رضي الله عنها, according to the hadith of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. وكان لا يدخل البيت إلا لحاجة إذا كان مؤتكفا. And the Prophet ﷺ would not enter the house except for a need if he was making i'tikaf. ولأن الخروج يفوت المكث في المعتكف في المعتكف
مكث في المعتكف. نعم.
معتكف وهو ركن الاعتكاف. That is because leaving the person he misses out on how do you say food to here, would that be he misses out on one of the conditions, which is to remain in the place of i'tikaf, and that is a pillar of i'tikaf.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Also, so someone asked me yesterday, one of the brothers from here asked about going out for a janaza. If it's Salatul Janaza, the 4 rakats with the 4 takbirs, whatever you want to call it, then if it's in the masjid that you're making itikaf in, fine. But to leave out and go to somewhere else, no. You're leaving one act of worship that you intended, and that act of worship requires you not to leave the masjid for except for anything necessary. And it's not necessary to do this janaza, unless you're saying that, well, nobody's going to pray on him if I don't pray on him, then this is different. But just to go or to follow to the cemetery, likewise, no, you don't go to the cemetery. You're in itikaf. You're in itikaf. Except the only excuse or allowability for this, and this is the speech of Bin Baz that I'm saying here, is that you make that a condition in the beginning. So you make that a condition in the beginning of your itikaf that I'm going to leave out to if there is a funeral, if there's a janaza, I'm going to leave out and attend it and come right back. But then you have to leave out and attend it and come right back. You can't hang out in a funeral. You can't hang out in a cemetery talking to somebody, go get something to eat and hang out and then go. No, you have to go do it and come right back. And some of them allow it. Likewise, some people say, well, I work. I can't make it to calf because I can't be there. Well, first off, you don't have to, as we already discussed, you don't have to make it to calf for the whole 10 days. There is no small amount of time. So you can make it. You can make it the night times of Ramadan. And some people say, like, for example, you got to work in the daytime, make the intention to make itikaf at night with the condition you're going to go to work and come right back from work to itikaf. I said, no problem, as long as you make that a condition in the very beginning. right? As long as you make that a condition for your itikaf in the very beginning when you make your intention, inshallah, no problem. I'll read this next one, then you read the next one, inshallah. We'll just switch back and forth until we're done. Al-Jima', al-Jima', sexual intercourse, will violate or invalidate, as Amr shared with us here, invalidate the itikaf. وَلَوْ كَانَ ذَلِكَ لَيْلًا, even if that was at nighttime. أو كان الجماع خارج المسجد, or if it took place outside the masjid while you were walking your family home. You decided to have sexual intercourse real quick at nighttime and then take a shower and go back. This invalidates your itikaf. لِقَوْلِهِ, due to his statement, the Most High, وَلَا تُبَشِّرُهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ آكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ, and do not approach your wives, do not touch your wives while you are in itikaf in the masajid. وَفِي حُكْمِهِ, and in its ruling, with the same ruling as al-jima', sexual intercourse, al-inzalu bishahwatin biduni jima'in kal-istimna'i, to ejaculate due to desires without having sex, such as masturbation. Wa mubashirati az-zawjati fi ghayri al-farji, and to touch the wife in other than her private parts. So if this causes you to ejaculate, and you know this, just like during the daytime, it will violate your fast. In itikaf, it will violate your itikaf. Number 3, Abu Muhammad.
No. Okay. ذهاب العقل. So the intellect going, or فيفسد الاعتكاف بالجنون والسكر. So the i'tikaf is corrupted if the person, he becomes mentally ill, or he becomes drunk. Is it sakari? Is that what we drunk, or?
Yeah, I mean that's the meaning of it. Yes.
Yeah, intoxicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
لخروج. No.
It should be sukri. I'm trying to find the right vowels for it. Sukri.
لخروج المجنون والسكران عن كونهما من أحلى الإبادة, because of the reason that insanity and intoxication, in its essence, it takes a person out from the people of worship.
Yes. You're not a person of worship if you're Majnoon. Worship is not obligatory upon you and probably not accepted from you. You don't know what you're saying. Likewise, someone intoxicated. This would invalidate your itikaf. Well, al-haydu wal nifasu, menstrual cycle and postpartum bleeding, li'adami, due to the absence of jawazi, of the permissibility, mukthi, of staying, al-ha'idhi wa nufasa'i, the menstruating woman and the woman with postpartum bleeding, fil masjidi, in the masjid, because it's not permissible for li'adam al-jawazi mukthi al-ha'idi wa nufasa'i fil masjid, due to the absence of the permissibility of these two women remaining in the masjid. They cannot stay in the masjid with this blood, so therefore they cannot make it itikaf. And khamisan ya Aba Muhammad.
نعم. الردة, which is apostasy, لمنافاتها الإبادة. منافاتها al-ibadah. Would that be? I'm not sure. Munafati.
Same thing from nafi, from noon fa. Yeah, we had this word previously. You might not have been with us then, but munafa, meaning like to negate ibadah. This negates ibadah. Ibadah is not accepted from a kafir.
Okay, yeah. So it negates ibadah. ولقوله تعالى لئن أشركت لا يحبطن عملك. So if you to commit shirk, your actions will be nullified.
Yep. You commit shirk, your actions are nullified. So if you apostate while in itikaf, your itikaf is nullified. Tayyib. That's it. It's the end of the book, end of the chapter. Study it well. No, let me see. We got questions. I'm just gonna go over it. We'll have it. We'll throw the test up on the screen, and I'll send it to everybody too. There are fill in the blanks. There are true and false. There are multiple choice, like fill in the blank with this word, or that word, right? And there are two scenarios that you have to answer. What would be the ruling? Right? We have 17 questions, inshallah. 17 questions, true or false, basically right or wrong, fill in the blank, multiple choice, and two scenarios that we got to go over, inshallah. We'll do that bi'idhnillah Saturday morning. So go through it, get together. We're going to ask it in Arabic. Hopefully we're going to answer in Arabic. And those who can't, at least you understand, hopefully, what we're asking, and hopefully you'll be able to at least answer in English, inshallah. I don't know how we're going to do it. Just let one person answer and see if everybody agrees. I don't know. We'll figure that out, inshallah ta'ala. Any questions about what we covered today? Will we have something on Qiyam al-Layl? Probably not. Probably not. We're just going to go to our regular schedule for 5 days. And we'll our 4 days, whatever it is, until Ramadan, and then in that time I'll figure out if, when, what we're gonna do during Ramadan, inshallah. Tayyib, ya akhwan. Jazakumullah khairan. This benefited me a lot. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. Realize that some of you, like Abu Muhammad, Amir, who are maybe more advanced in the reading, a few months from now, they won't be in class with us anymore because they'll be reading on their own. Abu Muhammad, I think, should be probably just reading on his own anyway. He probably understands mostly anyway. He probably don't really need to be here, right? Amir, he's almost at that point where he doesn't need to be here,
Jazakallah khair. It's just a pleasure to be with you guys, and then with your added benefits as well, inshallah. So I'm just trying to benefit and and gathering for the dhikr of Allah. So alhamdulillah. Yeah,
alhamdulillah. Yeah. So I mean, if someone wants to keep coming and they already understand, that's fine. And translate and do good. Abu Muhammad's got that British English, so sometimes it comes with a real proper word, which is nice. You know what I mean? I benefit from it, and so we can, like you said, gather but the class will always be here for those who are beginners, and hopefully, as someone gets more advanced, say, I don't want to sit there for an hour and translate English. I want to just go read Arabic for an hour and get more in. Good, and hopefully we'll have some new students at that point who will pick up on, from where we're at. So inshallah, we're going to continue with our regular classes until we finish them, and this is my goal. My goal is to be a niche category where I'm basically helping people who have done so much Arabic. They've studied Medina, they studied Arabiyatul Bani Yadayk, they studied these different books, but they still can't get into the books. I'm here to help that. I'm not necessarily teach al-Arabiyatul Bani Yadayk. I'm not necessarily here to teach Medina books or Muhammad ibn Saud books, although that's great. That's good. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to teach Alif Batat. I'm not here for that, really. I'm here for that niche group of people who can read and start to get into the books, but for some reason they just can't pick up a book on their own. I'm here to hopefully help them overcome that hurdle. And so we're going to be here even when Amir and Abu Muhammad leave us. Even when Abdullah here and Masao leave us, even when everyone else leaves us, we're going to be here, inshallah ta'ala. So jazakumullahu khairan. And I'll see you guys Saturday morning, my time, in Mecca time, Kuwait time. Might be Friday night for some of you, Saturday afternoon for some of you. We'll see you because tomorrow there's no class. Barakallahu fikum.
جزاك الله خير أستاذ.
Wa yakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم